Many stories of fantasy introduce the concept of immortality. Whenever there's a wish to be granted, there's always someone looking to become immortal, to gain the blessing of eternal life. Contrary, there are also many stories where immortality is forced upon someone as a curse, as is the case with RWBY and Salem. She is cursed to be immortal, never to pass on to the afterlife and meet the person she was in love with, until she learns the value of the cycle of life and death. As well, Ozma was also cursed with immortality, though by his own choice, until he achieves a certain goal. And I would actually consider Ozma's form of immortality way more of a curse than Salem's. Salem's I would actually consider a blessing. And that's actually what I want to discuss today, how each of you view immortality, whether you see it as a blessing or as a curse. I personally see it as the ultimate blessing and an eternal curse, depending on how it's looked at. Now, Salem, I see as having the ultimate blessing. Not really much of a curse thrown in there with the immortality itself. Salem's own personality and actions make her immortality a curse, but the immortality itself is not, because her immortality has eternal youth, perfect regeneration. We saw after the fight she had with Ozma in their castle, she regenerated from what seemed like nothing. And as well, she has an eventual end to her immortality when she learns the value of the cycle of life and death. Or, in other words, or another circumstance, when the gods are resummoned to the world, if humanity is not unified and they wipe out all existence, including Salem? Question mark. Whether that actually happens will remain to be seen, but Salem will have an end to her immortality at some point, or at least the option for it. And what makes Salem's perfect immortality a curse is the fact that she was unable to get past her anger for the gods, or towards the gods. That is what makes her immortality a curse. Even when reunited with Ozma, when he was reincarnated, she was unable to move past that and held on to that anger towards the gods. Yes, she was also corrupted by Grimm and everything like that, so yeah, there is that aspect. Now, what a lot of people consider immortality as a curse is people who are immortal will always have to watch their loved ones die. And yes, that is always something that is very tragic and will be something that they will experience infinite times throughout an infinite life. However, I feel that's a very glass half empty approach. Because if you consider that you have infinite times that you watch loved ones pass away, will there be infinite times that you'd fall in love? And if you look at just a regular mortal life, if you fall in love throughout your life and experience loss as well, you know, the happy times should well outweigh the sad times in general for the ideal life, and, you know, I assume most people's lives, and it all depends on how you look at it. Throughout an immortal life, you'll have many opportunities to fall in love, and if those people you fell in love with truly loved you as well, similarly, with a mortal life, they would want you to move on after their death and eventually be happy again. That is the way that everyone who is in love should consider their significant other, at least in my opinion. And so immortality gives you the potential for infinite happiness, as well infinite sadness, but in a 100-year period, you should be a lot more happy than you will be sad. At least that's my thinking. Now, in the case of Ozma, his immortality is truly a curse. He doesn't have eternal youth. He definitely doesn't have regeneration. And he also has the added effect of constantly having to reincarnate in someone who never asked to have a second soul shoved in their body. Like, I don't really know what exactly the gods were thinking when they gave Salem what I consider this ultimate blessing, and then Ozma this curse. Yeah, okay, they wanted him to never be alone, but once Salem finds out that Ozma is reincarnated, she can easily kill him. He is just in a mortal body with nothing special about it other than the magic that's attached to Ozma's soul, but Salem can easily overpower that. And then he has to go through the entire cycle again, reincarnating in someone who never asked for it. It's supposed to be someone who shares similar ideas with him, or similar ideals, I should say, and that doesn't really factor into it not being a curse. It is much more of a worse situation for Ozma. Now, with Salem, hers is a curse in another fashion, where immortality is not a curse with constantly watching your loved ones die and experiencing sadness. It does become a curse when there is no longer anyone to share happiness with, or sadness, or anything like that. If you extend immortality to the point of extinction, where, if in the case of immortality in humans, when the human race becomes extinct and you are left on your own, then immortality is certainly an eternal curse. And that's why Salem's immortality is perfect. It has a way out, because if the human race was ever to go extinct again, it would likely be because of the gods, and in theory, she'd be wiped out along with it. So immortality with like an escape button and with eternal youth and regeneration added in, it is by far an eternal blessing. And then Ozma's an eternal curse. So what exactly do you guys think? How do you guys perceive immortality? Do you see it as a blessing or as a curse? In my opinion, it is both a blessing and a curse if there is no way to actually end the immortality. But perfect immortality would have an escape button. There's also other factors, like if you're immortal and you get trapped under a building, like a building collapses on you or something and you're trapped there for eternity, then yeah, having an escape button would be kind of nice. Otherwise, you're trapped in eternal solitude as well. So a whole bunch of different factors that can go into it, but I want to know what you guys think about immortality. I've shown my opinions on it. Do you guys agree? Do you guys have different opinions? It's a bit of a rambly video, but let me know what you guys think. I have a couple other ideas for concept videos that I might make in the future for things that have been presented in RWBY, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. I look forward to hearing it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.